Swadikap guys! And so, in this episode of the review series today, I'm going to review the 12-year-old digital camera.
But which 12-year-old digital camera are we using for this review episode?
And yes, why I'm localized the chat. And well, this is actually this. It's actually nearly at 60 subscribers for some reason, but I don't know why it's gonna scratch up with my content. And for this episode, I'm going to review this camera right here. I'm going to show it to you right now. And well, for the 12-year-old camera, who cares about the quality and the video quality? But this camera is actually not too bad for me to have that in 2008. But for now, in the year of 2020 and also 2021 in the next year, and also this year of 2021, this camera, it would be like a garbage for you for some reason. And here is the camera I'm going to review in this episode right here on my hands. It's a Casio Exilim EX-Z19 as I mentioned before. But for now, let's get right to this review of the Casio Exilim EX-Z19 without any talking nonsense off my mouth. The main features of the Casio Exilim is the photo quality you would get from this camera by the maximum is the 9.1 megapixels, which is actually the stunning photo quality you would get in 2008. The video quality you would get is the HQ and the HQY, which is the standard definition video quality. And here is the simulated screen image of the 2.6Y LCD on the Casio Exilim EX-Z19 you would get is the 3:2 aspect ratio YLCD, which is unfortunately is not a 60:9 one, only 3:2 aspect ratio of the YLCD, which is a 2.6 one. And on the bottom here, you would get the many features of the system requirements for this camera, like the Windows. And also it has a MAC trademark, which it says works with iPhoto, the HDHC trademark, and also unfortunately the camera is not made in Japan, and yes, it's made in China for some reason. The accessories would include in the box is the battery charger with the model number BC60L, the AC power cord for the BC60L, USB cable, the AV cable, the thread, and the CD-ROM, which is come pre-installed in the manual, and the lithium-ion rechargeable battery, the Casio NP60 battery. And also the same goes for this Japanese one, so you can read it in Japanese on over here. Even the camera itself is actually made in China. And that's it for the accessory that's included in the box. It's time for me to have this camera unboxed. The camera is getting ready to play with. And yes, I'm going to unbox this camera right now by a nutshell. Go away, you message. The manual with the CD-ROM pre-installed. The free SD card, only 2 GB. The same one in Thai language, which is whatever. Inside here, you will get the wrist strap for hooking up to your camera. I think this is the AV cable. The AC power cord for your charging compatibilities. The USB cable for your computer onto your camera. And yes, the camera itself in the wrapping. And also underneath there you will get the charger, which is the model number BC60L. Wow. And yes, for the design of this camera is actually not too bad for me in 2008 and also the year of 2020 and the 2021. Let's take a look at the camera body first. On the front here, you would get the flash for taking photos in the dark, the lens, which is the 3x optical zoom, the equalizer for the cell timer, the microphone for your video, and on the top here, you would get the on and off button, the shutter button, the hooking up to your wrist strap, the slot for your battery, and the SD card, which is came pre-installed in the camera itself. And the USB connection. And on the back here, you will get the 2.6Y LCD, which is the 3:2 aspect ratio, the zooming control, the playback button, the go to the camera button, the 4 directional button, the top and down button, and the down button is actually the trash button and the flash button for your photo mode. And on the bottom here, you would get the speakers on the bottom and the 1/4 screw mount on the bottom for your tripod, which is, I don't know, it's a plastic or not. It's not a plastic actually, but sometimes it's actually the hard plastic on this one. And yes, that's it for this camera. But right now, I'm going to get this camera onto work with the micro SD card to HD adapter. With the inside there, you would get is the micro SD card high class 4GB Kingston, which is the same brand name for this free 2GB SD card. Put them in. And now, let's boot her up. And yes, it's black for some reason, but yes, it is. It's actually trying to read the SD card, but right now it's in the video mode. So let's switch to the photo mode, I guess. And yes, this camera, I figured out that there is no mode button for your camera and for your video. And here is the viewfinder of the camera itself. You would get is the DSLR style viewfinder and the flash equalizer for while you have no flash, the flash on, the red eye reduction, the auto flash, and the flash off, which is actually the normal settings for the most of the daylight conditions. And on the top here, you will get the equalizer for your single shot or your continuous shot, and the display can be seen the histogram on it. And also you can clear that out for your viewing experience on the 3:2 aspect ratio screen for the full size of it. And also here's the photo quality you would get is the 9.1 megapixels fine, and the remaining pictures on the SD card, and the date, which I don't care, and the battery equalizer, which is good for me to see that. But as for the battery has the 720 mAh, which is not too low for me for this camera. And as for the quality you would get is 9.1 megapixels, and the lowest quality you would get is the VGA, which is the 640 by 480. And as for the photo quality you would get is fine, and the lowest you would get on the photo quality is the economy one. And the video quality, as I mentioned, you would get is the 640 by 480 one, and the lowest you would get is the LP one, which is a 320 by 240 resolution. And the HUI, the standard definition one, is the 848 by 480. And here are some settings that I don't want to get onto the detail of it. And here's the focus setting, the continuous setting, which you can select between off or on. The cell timer, which I don't care. The anti-shake, you can turn off the anti-shake if I want to. The AF area you can get is the multi and the center spot, which for me I'm using multi one, which is very good for me. The easy mode, which I don't care. And yes, for the setup, I don't care about the settings in this camera. And yes, let's hear what the zooming sound looks like on this camera. It sounds like when you're using the really cheap electric screwdriver. And yes, without any further, let's get right to the video and the photo test of this camera, starting with taking the picture of myself. Okay, taking a picture in 3, 2, 1. And yes, that's the camera I'm using to record this video right now, which is the Samsung A7 2015. Okay, let's try video mode in the quality of the 60:9 one. Hello guys, I'm recording this on the Casio Exilim EX-Z19 right now, which I lost the sunglasses that I used to take for the first part of the video. And yes, I actually look too cool for me to have the 2008 camera. Thumbs up for that. And let's take a look at the playback quality on this one. Hello guys, I'm recording this on the Casio. And yes, it's actually not too bad for me to see that speakers is kind of busted for some reason, but this is actually the playback quality you would get on the 2008 digital camera. And that's about it for the review of the Casio Exilim EX-Z19. But the quality of the video and the photo is not too bad. And yes, it's actually the stunning photo and video quality you would get on this camera. And also for the little extra test of the video test, I will be using the quality of the 640 by 480, which is the 60:9 high quality one. And yes, I'm recording this on the 640 by 480 high quality standard definition quality. And let's zooming in on something before I go. And yes, the zoom is kinda pixelated. Only 3 times digital zoom, which is kinda pixelated for some reason. And yet, there is no autofocus while you record the video on this camera. And yes, that's the end of this video. So thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. And for now, just subscribe this channel. It's free. So subscribe it. And yes, feel free to subscribe me too. Hell, I'm look like a channel with 60 subscribers. And yes, that is the overview joke for me. And for now, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. And I will see you guys all around. And so that, thank you guys for watching again. And also, I will see you in the next video. Bye!